Shalom. First of all, I want to give all praises to Yahweh by Shem Yahushai, by Shem Chakodash, and double honors to the elders and apostles at Great Millstone who were well, and peace and salutations to all since Rachim out there, of course, lifting up the name of Yahweh by Shem Yahushai and teaching His truth and all truth and sincerity. And of course, double honors to the elders and apostles at Great Millstone if I haven't said that. And of course, peace and salutations to all since Rachim that are doing this work. Alright, so I'm Brother Mappa from Great Millstone Plaintables Camp, located here in Great Babylon. It is currently the 2nd of so-called January 2019, year of Hogmany, which the year of 2018 has hit its closed, and of course most of the people have participated and are still participating in folly. All right, so I just wanted to do a lesson to the Chakodash, which I just was meditating upon, which you have it here, Hogmany, all right, or Hogmany, which over there in Scotland, and it of course is celebrating, and that's of course when you go into it, that's the New Year's Eve and such. All right, and the funny thing is that as the scriptures say, what is a man with with experience, he is a man well traveled, have much experience, roughly paraphrasing. I believe it's in the book of Ecclesiasticus, and me being a brother that came in this truth and such, did a bit of traveling and such, and have experiences being over there in Scotland and such. So it's good, of course, knowing all of this information and seeing it yourself. All right, which the scripture I had quoted was Ecclesiasticus 34:9, and it reads here, "A man that hath traveled knoweth many things," and it says, "And he that hath much experience will declare wisdom." And of course, we know that you going in experiences, going into trying things out. All right, you go, of course, through the ages. All right, and you learn. All right, and you have that experience from what you of course encountered. All right, so I've been in Scotland for some of these different various celebrations. A lot of these are false holy days and such, in which the so-called white man, who is Esau, Edom, the so-called Caucasians, which the earth is given unto the hand of the wicked, pursuant to Job 9:24, and the wicked, of course, are the Edomites. All right, they ruling over the world. The wicked are the Edomites, and you can read that in Malachi 1:4, and then they're the border of wickedness, and you can see it. All right, the custom of the people are vain. All right, and they perpetuate all of these Babylonian, all right, customs, in which these Edomites, which they were the Greeks, all right, well, they of course conquered the Greeks, which originally was Japhetic, all right, and they of course took their names. You read that, of course, throughout the scriptures in the Apocrypha primarily, all right, Book of the Maccabees and such, all right. And you have, of course, the Edomites was the Romans, all right, and they of course assimilate, or they took these different gods, to themselves, all right. All of these practices that you see before you, all right, has been being done in antiquity and such, all right, in the ancient world. Okay, so I got 2 articles. I mean, I have a very slew of things, but I just wanted to go into the so-called celebration all right, of New Year's and such. All right, so you have it here. Hogmany is the big New Year Eve celebration, but where does it come from and what does it mean? Here's the meaning, poem, and traditions. And it says here, it's one of the biggest and loudest celebration of New Year's Eve. You'll see, of course, when we mean Hogmany or Hogmany, the celebration sees tens of thousands of people take to the streets in Scotland with parties carrying on well into the New Year's Day. But what it is, why is it called Hogmany? Here's why, or what we know about Hogmany and how it is celebrated. And it has here, what is Hogmany? It says the annual event in Scotland to welcome the new year. And you have to understand that the year, of course, is not Chadash or new, and until what? When things are what? Alive, all right? In the springtime, that's when the new year comes, all right? You have to understand that this current calendar and such is by what? The Gregorian calendar, all right? It's in observance of what? The sun and such. The Hebrew Israelites, all right, which the so-called Negroes and Latino Native Americans, all right, are the Hebrew Israelites, all right, and of course our people have been scattered, and that was a curse, you know, because of our rebellion against our power. So some of our people actually do look like the rest of the heathen, all right, but their line go back to their father, to a Hebrew Israelite, all right, and you know, most of our people, they follow these customs of the heathen, all right, and you know, and you know, we were destroyed, we discontinued from our heritage, and you have all this confusion, you know, where you know people don't even know when the new year comes in, or the new month, all right, or anything, you know. And so I'm just gonna go into this. This lesson primarily is just gonna go into just precepts on reveling and such, just a couple, and just you know whatever else I got here in the spirit, in my tabs and the precepts. So you have it here. It says it takes place over a few days, which the main event on New Year Eve or New Year Eve or NYE. It says the party carries on January 1st and 2nd. Both are bank holidays in Scotland. All right. Yeah, days off. All right. It says where Hogmany begins is unknown, and this is a lie. All right. We know where it goes back to. All right. In which I'm going to go into the ancient world, the origins and such, just a wee bit. And it says, though some think it was the Lycans who invaded Scotland in the 8th and 9th century, it says Norse raiders celebrated winter solstice with parties, and it seems the tradition has carried on. All right. In which we're going to go into, let's see. Some of this some more, because this winter solstice, you know, you going into like let me see, you going to the winter solstice, you going into like I want to just pull up another tab real quick. I'll pull it up. Because I know it goes into like darkest times. Let me see, Slocky. Let me get it real quick. Give me one moment. Yeah, so winter solstice, right? Right, so you have it here. The winter solstice, also known as midwinter, occurs when one of the Earth's poles has its maximum tilt away from the sun. It happened twice yearly. All right. And I mean, when you just go into it, you know, you got it where I believe like you have it like the darkest day, you know, so-called December the 25th or something like that. All right. And I mean, the so-called white man, you know, just to cut a long story short, the so-called white man has changed times and seasons, which you have that in Daniels real quick. It's Daniels, right? Yeah, back to Daniels, it's 7:25. I should have just went to the spirit. It says here, and he shall speak great words against the Most High. Who's the he? All right. As you hear, you got this going I believe when you go a bit ahead, it's going to the beast, right? Which you have it the fourth beast. So you going into that it said the so-called Roman, all right, empire and such, all right. Actually, Roman Empire Slock, all right. That's the fourth beast, all right. Because it says here, thus, I could just read it down. 7:23. It says, and thus he said, the fourth beast shall be the fourth kingdom upon the earth, which shall be diverse from all kingdoms, and shall devour the whole earth, and it shall tread it down and break it into pieces. And the 10 horns out of this kingdom are the 10 kings that shall arise, and that's of course going into the EU. All right, and it says here, and another shall rise after them, and he shall be diverse from the first, and he shall subdue 3 kings. And it says, and he shall speak great words against the Most High, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High, and think to change times and laws, and they shall be given into his hand until the times and time, or until a time and the dividing of time. So you have it, this of course being the dominion of the so-called white man, which they, this is what, just nothing but a regeneration, all right, of what, the Roman Empire again, all right, just back again, and you can read that in Revelation, all right, and you have it where, they of course doing everything against what Yahweh Shem Yahshai has set up, okay. And this goes into like Constantine, of course. When you go, actually, when you go into like what the so-called white man has done, all right, you have it where these different calendars. We on a Gregorian calendar, all right. It's just all against what Yahweh Shem Yahshai, the actual order and the way to tell time is, all right. The actual order of things, all right. Let me go to the article again. So you have it. Let me see. I can go into it a little bit. So I'm just gonna go and skip a bit. So it says here for when you going into this whole fucking New Year's crap, you dealing with all of these pagan. All right, it's a pagan holiday, pagan custom, and you worshiping and all these other gods and such, right? Because you have it here. It says in ancient Roman religion and myth, Janus, all right, is the god of, which is the idol, beginning, gates, transition, time, duality, doorways, passages, and ending. So you got it basically kind of like the past and the future, all right, when you go into it, all right. So that's where you get like your January from and such, all right. So just so that you go into it. And it says he is usually depicted as having 2 faces, since he looked to future and to past. It is conventionally thought the month of January is named after Janus, but according to the ancient Roman farmers' almanac, Juno was the tutelary deity of the month. It says Janus presided over the beginning and ending of conflict. All right, but you could go into it if you want. Now, also going into it, which I just want to go to the actual article. You had where, me and the Ak was we was actually doing some work. All right, doing these deliveries and such for this day, make some money and such in Babylon. All right, just trying to sustain ourselves. I mean, you had basically Revelling, all right, which I'm gonna go into it, right. So you had Hogmany celebrations across Scotland as 2019 begins. 10,000s gather in Edinburgh. for fireworks in France, Furnace concert. It says around 75,000 partygoers gathered in the center or Edinburgh in the shadow of the city's castle, which, you know, Edinburgh is the capital of Scotland, right? If I'm not mistaken, it's not Glasgow. If I'm not. But anyway, going in, it says to see in 2019 at the Bells as one of the globe's largest street parties. It says the jubilant crowd counted down to the 10 seconds to midnight. And it's crazy too. Like, you know, the day begins at sundown. All right, and I mean, this is crazy. You know, you have it where it's the evening and then the morning. All right. But anyway, going, and that's, you read that in Genesis. But anyway, it says before the fireworks display lit up the sky above famous landmark with soundtrack provided by German band Mute or whatever. Let me just skip around. Yeah, it has here, it says that bands and DJs, street performers, dancers, aerobatics from Scotland and the mainland Europe all perform at an open air event. It says revelers enjoy music, right? So this is a key word, which is revel. All right. So you go into it, revel, enjoy oneself in a lively, noisy way, especially with drinking and dancing. All right. To get great pleasure from a situation and an experience. All right. Now, when you go into this, I'm going to go into the actual scriptures. It says here, it says Galatians 5:17, for the flesh lusteth against the spirit, and the spirit against the flesh. And these are contrary the one to the other, so that ye cannot do the things that ye would. You know, you have to understand that the flesh is carnal, all right? It warreth against the spirit, all right? The flesh, they're adverse to each other. It says, but if ye be led in the Ruach or the spirit, ye are not under the law. It says, now the works of the flesh are manifest, which are these. So these are the works of the flesh, all right? You have adultery, all right? You, of course, going and sleeping with another a man's woman, all right? That of course, like if you have a man sleep with another man's woman, that's adultery. Fornication is the same thing, all right? Because you have to understand that a man can have multiple wives, all right? You have to understand that you know, when you, of course, have sex with another man's wife, that's wicked. It says uncleanliness. It has fornication, which is the same thing, all right? It has uncleanliness, lasciviousness, all right? It says idolatry, all right, which you have that when you're dealing with, you know, you participate in these different, you know, these celebrations, these like you have here, there's reveling, all right? You know, you committing all type of idolatry. It says witchcraft. You know, your spirit of rebellion is as a sin of witchcraft. Roughly paraphrase: hatred, variance, emulations, wrath, strife, seditions, and heresies. It says envyings, murder, drunkenness, and revellings. All right. So, and it says in such like of the which I tell you before, as I have also told you in times past, that they which do such things shall not inherit the kingdom of the power. All right. So I mean, if you come in the truth and such, you know, you gotta, of course, come out of these ways of the world. Simple as that. All right. So I want to go into this drunkenness, and like when you go, let me see. I have this. Let me see. Where is it at? This link, which it goes into the truth, some of the truth of this, you know, this New Year stuff, shit. So you have it here. This Greek god of wine. You have here, who is Dionysus? It says none of other than Bacchus, the god of wine. In honor of the Greeks, held a festival in the festival of the wine press at the time, which correspond with to our months of January and February. Today, more alcoholic beverages are consumed during the holiday seasons and than any time of the year. New Year's Eve is known as its licentious, wild, and wanton, meaning undisciplined partying. People are deceived by riotous pagan holiday spirits for part inmates emanating from liquor bottles, all while calling it Christian. I mean, this site has just some of the going into this festivity, right? Which I was kind of like just speaking to the spirit on it. Here's some of the information. It says New Year's festivities had originated in Babylon, found their way to Greece, and finally to Rome. The Romans called it Saturnalia. They both Edomites. All right, just so as I've noted, it says in honor of Saturn. Among them, it was extremely popular. A time of reveling, drinking, boats, orgies, finally ended in human sacrifice. And I mean, that's what you have on this whole New Year's Eve, New Year's Day. You have nothing but people committing adultery, doing partying, orgies, all of that, and excessive drinking. All right. Now I need to go back and to the scripture, and you have it here for drunkenness is intoxication, comes back from or go back to the Greek metha, all right, or metha. Let me see what it says.
Strong's G 3178. Methe. All
right, so you got methe, intoxication, and drunkenness. All right. Right. Which, we gotta, the time, we supposed to measure the time diligently in itself, we in the time of the end. We ain't supposed to be, in participating in such things as such, as these people are doing. All right. This Romans 13:13, it says, let us walk honestly as in the day, not in rioting, in drunkenness, not chambering, and wantonness, and not in strife or sloth, and envying. All right. So we are not supposed to walk in the ways of this world. All right. We ain't supposed to be in these different rioting. All right, and drunkenness. All right. Also the reveling, right? Which real quick, I'm gonna just go to the rioting real quick. Right, yeah. What's that? Kolmos or Kolmos, which you have it revel, which is carousal. It says a nocturnal riotous percussion or procession of half-drunken and frolicsome fellows, which this word frolicsome here, it means, gotta wait for it to pop up. It means here lively and painful. All right, I mean, you had dude, last night, you had it where these fucking dudes, this dude was like throwing up. We had to do a delivery at this famous cheesesteak place downtown in South Philly. This dude throwing up. He barely could walk, and he ended up not even getting a cheesesteak. He got his woman that was, a woman that was basically trying to, like, you know, keep them upright and such. I mean, like, you have it where the things is in confusion. It's supposed to be a man supposed to be, you know, upright and leading the woman, but you have it where, you know, you had the woman gotta lead this man, which is confusion. It's ridiculous, you know. It says, who after supper parade through the streets with torches and music in honor of Bacchus or some other deity, and sing and play before houses of male-female friends. Hence, usually are used generally of feasts and drinking parties that are protracted till late at night and indulge in revelry. Right, so this is for I believe this week's going into the actual riding. Okay, which is funny, you know. Ultimately, the point is because when I was in the actual article, let me see if I can find it real quick. Or yeah, I gotta see if I can find the actual article. In the actual article, you'll see, you know, kind of like the torch over there. They got like torches and shite over there in Glasgow and such, or well, Edinburgh. You know, it's gonna be going on all about in Scotland, but it's just crazy. Let me see if I can find the actual tab. It's locked. This is lesson to the spirit. You know, power y'all by Shemal Shai. So, you know, it's kind of everywhere. Right. So here, when you see it, you can see here. I mean, it's a video, but they got torches and such. You can see it, and they're going about in the streets and such. So reading back on, it says revelers enjoy music across 3 stages. The Scottish favorite Jerry Cinnamon appeared on the Waverley stage. It says Judge Jules and Mac Twins leading the DJ stage. Blah blah blah. So I mean, you can see it. It says I was participating in the torchlight procession on Sunday and loved it. I feel like Edinburgh is the best place to be in New Year's Eve right now. It says everybody's jealous of me back home. It says I've been here once before, and I believe, you know, it's maybe somebody, of course, from the States and just went back to Scotland and such just to participate in it. You know, just because it's probably one of the, I'm mistaken, it's a destination in which people, you know, go about to bring in the new year, so-called, in this world. It says I've been here once before and loved it, and they would look forward to coming back. I think it was magical, and I recommended it to a bunch of my friends. The crowd featured first-time visitors, returning visitors, and family links to Scotland. It was the first time in Edinburgh for a couple, Miriam Malaquin, 25, and David Mehal from Brittany in France, or Brittany. But I mean, that's basically it. You know, you can see it, but you know, you can see where the origins is. It's spoken in the scriptures. You know, I have the different various links. You know, I carried certain, spoke certain, you know, and showed you some of the information. Hopefully, you're edified. Call Allah Yimlayah Bashim Ashab Bashim Kodash. You know, and double honor to the elders, apostles, and at Great Millstone. Well, you know, don't, of course, get engrossed in this. You know, these people are gonna be destroyed. All right, these people are gonna be destroyed. They're wicked. Shalom.